On today's video, I have a set of irons from a brand that I think is criminally underrated, especially on YouTube. You just do not hear enough about this brand. They've got a couple of pros playing incredible golf with their clubs right now, so it's a testament to what they can do. If you haven't guessed, I'm talking about Srixon, and the irons in my hand today are the ZXi-4s. This is a cast iron, but they have done a ton of R&D and a ton of engineering work to make these clubs perform as close to a forged iron as a game improvement club can be. For those of you who are mere mortals that watch this show, I think this iron in my hand is going to be one you're really going to want to pay attention to here in 2025. On today's video, we are at the beautiful Carrollwood Country Club. We're going to play 6 holes of golf. Our over-under here today is going to be +or-1, and it's not going to be easy because there's a tournament here. We're actually playing before the tournament tees off, and these pins are absolutely tournament pins, the toughest I have seen. So if we can hit that score or better, we know these clubs can perform. Before we hit the tee box, let's take a closer look. All right, here's the closer look here at the ZXi-4. This is a beautiful game improvement club that really has, I think, a player's shape and feel to it, much more so than many game improvement irons on the market. Now, the technology inside this club, first off, it's a cast club. So the ZXi-5 and 7, that's going to be a forged club. This is going to be cast, but it's cast from a very soft steel that's going to make it feel nice and buttery. We'll see that out on course if that's the case. Now, if you look at the face here, these grooves are another piece of technology that is very subtle here from Srixon. So these 4 through 7 irons have grooves that are a little bit more separated and a little shallow, whereas the 8 through pitching wedge are going to have deeper grooves that are a little tighter. That's going to add more spin. So you're going to have less spin here on the longer irons and more spin on the scoring irons. That should be a good recipe for success. Now, what's behind these grooves is also interesting. They call it a main frame. This is going to basically save some weight and be able to shift some mass to the perimeter inside here. That's going to increase MOI, which of course is going to lead to more forgiveness out on course. Now, the sole of this club I find to be pretty narrow for a game improvement iron. And in fact, if I hold up the ZXi-5 next to it, you can see there's not a ton of difference. It's definitely a little wider, but not crazy. What this sole also shares in common with the ZXi-5 and the 7 range is what they call a VT sole at Srixon. So you've got a V here, basically you've got some relief towards the face and towards the back of this club. In addition, you've got this little cutout here towards the hosel. So again, a VT shape, which is all about cutting through the turf, giving you good turf interaction and consistent results. And by the way, I have these paired with the KBS Tourlite stiff shaft. So all in all, great looking package. Let's see how it performs. Time to take it out on course right now. All right, first hole here is a par 5. We've got a half set here. I've got a 5, a 7, and a pitching wedge. So we are going to make do with that. If I can get home in 2, that would be a really nice start. Oh my gosh, that felt so good. And that was super high. In terms of stats, my club head speed was 89, the ball speed was 129, the smash 144, which is challenging some of the drivers we've tested this year, and the estimated carry 192. On a 5 iron, I think we're gonna get a pretty big number here. The G80 will tell us. This is literally insane. I thought we'd be over 200, but 234, that's wild. So distance-wise, absolutely incredible, and there's no doubt in my mind we're getting home in 2 here. Let's see what we've got in. I got 170 in. Now, like I said, in this set, I've got a little half set, so 7 iron is going to be the club. If I hit a 5 iron that far, I've got to think this is a 185 plus club. So we're gonna have to take a little bit off of this one, but let's see what we can do. I'm simultaneously gonna test a little bit of workability here because I'd like to fade this shot if possible. Oh, that's a great strike. Fairly straight. We're getting a little bit of fade out of that one. And I think we're about middle of the green, but that felt really good. Now, turf interaction, again, another point of emphasis here with Srixon. And I'll tell you what, these clubs feel amazing. I keep thinking they're forged just the way I'm hitting them. They've done an incredible job in the cast iron process here this year, really tuning the acoustics and the structural makeup of these irons to make them feel just so nice. And in terms of distance, again, there's a lot of power in these ones. I'm actually a little past this pin. I'll be chipping up for my eagle attempt, but man, these things have some serious pop. And if you've seen my play lately, to have an eagle chip here to start from over the green, I'm loving that one. Ooh, I hit my spot, I thought, but that really took off. So we are gonna have a birdie putt, but it's gonna be longer than I wanted. My short game has been letting me down here the last few weeks, but that was a tricky shot. Well, the irons got us into good position. The short game continues to let us down a little bit, but we'll take the tap in par. So far so good out of the ZXi 4s. Let's see if we continue to hit them well on a short par 4, a little dog leg left. Any kind of decent tee ball is going to put us in wedge range. All right, 5 irons the club again here on this dog leg left. Again, we're going to continue to test the workability here as I really want to shape this one low and right to left moving would be ideal. And again, we have done just that. I really think if you didn't know this was a cast club, you'd think it was a forged club, just based on, again, feel and acoustics, but shot shaping ability of these is unmatched in this category. We're talking about a game improvement club here, and this is acting like a player's iron to me. I could easily see myself blending this set. If you were to have like a 4, 5, and 6 iron here in the ZXi 4s, and then maybe you blend that with the 5s up top of the bag, I think that could be a really interesting setup to explore. Again, you normally wouldn't think about matching a cast club with a forged iron, but the feel is just so good out of this one. It'd be really difficult for most people to know the difference. All right, so I blast that again much further than I thought I could hit a 5 iron, but we've got 85 yards. It's a bit of an awkward distance. What I'm gonna do though is choke up on this one. We're gonna take kind of a half swing, and that pin is in a very, very difficult position, cut over a bunker in a very narrow green. It's gonna be tough to get at it, but we'll do our best here and see if we can work this one in. Oh, I think that's as good as I could do. It's still a little long, but again, just in terms of being able to work a club, flight a club, and just do what you want in order to control trajectory, this is the best, bar none, I've seen out of a game improvement iron. It doesn't feel like a game improvement iron in any way, shape, or form to me. All right, I'm pretty happy with the way this one finished. We're off the green, but not by much, and if you can see just how narrow this green is, that was a really good result. When you've got a club in your hand that probably goes 145, 150 easy, it's tough to get that distance right, but again, superb workability and shot trajectory control here out of the ZXi 4s. I'll be able to put a putter in my hand here. We've got a birdie putt heading downhill and should be coming left to right. Not sure I nailed the speed right there or the line. Like I said, the short game is the part that's been hurting me lately. We got 4 feet here for par. All right, that's 2 holes, 2 pars. We're moving into really the teeth of this course though. Holes 3, 4, and 5, extremely difficult and very narrow. So we'll really be able to get a good accuracy test out of these ones right now. Let's do it. All right, on this tee shot, I'm actually gonna go 7 iron because it's, again, super narrow, and if we hit it too far, we'll actually hit it into the cypress trees. So again, this is really the shot maker's part of this course. We gotta get distance and accuracy spot on if we're gonna score. And that, again, is just perfect. I wanted to hit a nice little draw, kind of start it at the trouble and go away from it. It's generally how I like to play, and we did that perfectly. It's time to go on attack mode. Okay, 161 is the number. I didn't measure that one, but we probably hit it about 185 again. So I'm gonna take a little bit off this one. I'm right on the edge of the fairway. Hopefully we'll get a chance to test these ones out of the rough soon, but we're hitting too many fairways right now, which is never a bad thing. So I took a little bit off of that one, flighted it a little bit lower, and I believe we found the green there, but we're gonna have a long putt. So again, feel of these clubs incredible, but the other thing I think Srixon's done really well, and they've done it with their power frame and the construction of this hollow bodied iron, is it has just a nice crunch to it. The sound is just so good. Absolutely impressive. All right, so I've got a tricky putt here, probably 30, 35 feet, but moving uphill and left to right. The cup here is on a bit of a slope, so everything's gonna be pulling it that way. All right, wish me luck. I don't know if I've ever had this putt before. Stay up there, stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up. Oh, oh, that's nasty. That is nasty. I feel bad because I hate when I'm hitting irons so well and we're not getting a score out here, but difficult conditions. Ooh, that's a bogey. But we've got 3 holes to make it up. Again, these next 2 are gonna be tough and tight, but if we can hit them as good as we've been hitting them, we're gonna have the chances. All right, we're gonna go 7-iron again. While this isn't a very long hole, again, super narrow, we've got palm trees I've got to avoid. I have to get past those palm trees or I'll be blocked out. But on the right-hand side, we've got like a wilderness area, protected area. And if we go in there, we're taking a penalty. So we don't want that either. This is, again, got to be precise, but we have been all day so far. Let's see if we can do it again. Well, tried to steer it just a little bit. I hit that palm tree dead on. So now we're gonna get a test of the rough, how these clubs handle out of the rough, and we're gonna get probably another workability test because I'm gonna have to hit a very, very difficult shot to escape this one. All right, lucky break, honestly. It's still gonna be a tough shot, but we actually got past this palm tree and I should have hopefully enough room to swing this club. And I took a little branch down with me, so we'll get that one out of the way. But as you can see, very difficult lie. All right, I'm just on the edge here, so I'm actually gonna be below the ball. Where the pin is cut, again, left side, we've got the hardest pins they could possibly have out here. And we've got cypress trees in our way, so I've really got to get it up quick. And if I'm gonna get close to this pin, I've got to hit a draw here. Let's see what we've got for distance. 172. So I think we're gonna have plenty of club actually, and it's gonna, again, just be all about being able to control the shot shape here. And that looks amazing. These are the shots in golf that I really love. When you can escape from dire situations, that's what makes golf fun to me. Took a little bit of earth there with it. Gotta say, it cut right through. You can see I made a pretty good divot here as well, which will fill, but all in all, I'm just thrilled. I'm over the moon with how these things are performing right now. All right, so just off the green here, but again, I'm over the moon with where that ball started and where we finished, again, long. So I just need to dial back the distance on this one a little bit. There's just too much power for this mere mortal, apparently. But hopefully we can get up and down from here. I'd say when I'm chipping well, I can do this about 7 or 8 times out of 10, but again, lately my short game has been the one letting me down. Hit my landing spot, go in the hole. All right, I'll be happy to escape here with a par. We got a par 3 ahead of us, and then our final hole is gonna be what's the #1 hole ranked on this course, but I think it plays a little easier than it says on the card. A downhill par 4. Let's see if we can make it happen. We are right on the bubble still on our +1 number, and we're playing steady golf, but there's some birdies in these clubs. If I can get the distance right, I know we are gonna get one close. 143 is our number now. We have some wind in the face. Generally, with my pitching wedge, is like a 135 club. Again, these clubs have more pop to them. I'd say I could probably stretch them to 143, but it's gonna take a lot. I'd probably be leaning 7-iron here to keep it safe, but I love to put clubs through the paces, so we're gonna see if we can push that pitching wedge. Let's see if we can do it. We got water we got to carry though. Immediately after I made that decision, I'm kind of regretting that, but if you're gonna test clubs, why not put it through the gauntlet, right? Max distance test with the pitching wedge. It is high up in the air, drawing in. Again, in terms of distance, impeccable. But we are like 10 yards short here, so I probably hit that 145 into the wind. I will take that. I'm very, very impressed. And even though we're not hitting a lot of greens here, playing with a set of 3 clubs is obviously going to make that a little bit more difficult, and I'm thrilled with what I'm seeing. Let's see if we can get up and down here again and give us that chance to hit our number here on the 6th and final hole. Get up a little bit. Okay. A little longer par putt than I would have liked. This is 5 feet, but we've done it. So we're on the bubble. We've got one more hole. As long as we make par or better, we're gonna hit our number, but I really do think we can go even par here with the ZXi 4s. These irons are that good. After I hit my tee shot, we're gonna rank them. All right, so if we can catch the slope right, we'll get a little extra distance, and we might be able to put a pitching wedge in our hand for our second shot. But these things are so long, I think we can do that. That's a great start. I think I'm 5 for 5 when it comes to hitting fairways with these irons, I mean, there's just so much forgiveness built into these clubs, and to have that feel, to have that control and pack away the forgiveness, what a recipe for just a great game improvement club. It might be the most perfect one that I've tried here this year so far. Really did like those Callaway irons, but with the sound feel and the spin lacking a little bit with those clubs, I've got to give the nod to these ones right now. I also really like the G440 irons. I think it's going to be between those two irons if you're looking for a game improvement club this year. That's going to be my pick. I like them even better than I like the JPX 925s this year. The Hot Metal's a great club. I think this one would be my choice right now. We are dead middle of the fairway. We've got 151. So it's one of those things, again, do I try to push the pitching wedge or do we try to take a little bit off the 7-iron? I think I'm gonna go for the 7-iron. But while we do that, while I'm thinking that through, let's talk about these irons. In terms of distance, 5 out of 5 without a doubt. These are up there with the longest irons, might even be the longest iron. 234 the 5-iron. These things have distance in spades. When it comes to forgiveness, an absolute 5 out of 5. I have hit a couple thin here today. I've also hit a couple off the toe, and my results, you can see, been in every fairway, and I've been right around all these greens. I'm really happy with that. When it comes to workability, this is where a game improvement club often breaks down, but these ones don't. So for me, they're not going to be as workable as probably the ZXi 5 or 7 models, but for a game improvement club, it's a full 5 out of 5. If we're talking about aesthetics, looks, feel, and sound, again, for a game improvement iron, this is as good as it gets. And for me, it's going to be a 5. The only spot that these clubs might be lacking just a little bit is in the value category. These ones are not going to be as budget friendly as some of the other options out on the market, but I think they're absolutely worth saving up for. Srixon have done something absolutely incredible this year, and for value, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 because you're getting so much out of it. So that means these clubs are a 98-point club, and you do not see that score very often on this show, but they're that good. Probably a toss-up between the G440s and these of what I'd put in my bag. And again, blending a set, I think there's a great argument to be made that these should be blended with a ZX5 if you're a mid-handicapper. All right, let's see if we can take a little bit off and get a birdie and get out of here. Again, great strike, great feel. And like we've done all day today, is be a little bit long. Once you dial in this distance, these things are going to be absolutely incredible. Either way, I am in love with what Srixon has done this year. Whether I get up and down or not, I've had a blast with these ones. Yeah, again, so much pop out of these ones. Got a lot of green to work with though. Roll, baby, roll. Get good, get good. Oh, that almost went in. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I enjoyed being out here with these irons. Such a fun round, and what a way to end it. Hit that subscribe button, do me a favor, and share this review with one of your friends, and I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.